Hey guys, Deathmog91 here, better known as Tom. So guys, this episode I thought I'd go over one of probably my favorite anime series that I'm finding a lot of stuff I've actually missed. Now, I'm only gonna go over what I know, what I've actually seen of the series, guys, because there's a lot I haven't missed. And if you don't know what it is, by the title, I should tell you, Gundam, Mobile Suit Gundam. Now, Mobile Suit Gundam has had a lot of just different uh, spin-offs throughout the years. Usually it's around the same time frame, but yeah. So I've got to start off with the first Gundam show that I can truly remember because it didn't get premiered till like 94, 95, and that was Gundam Wing. Gundam Wing, oh my god, I freaking loved Gundam Wing. So Gundam Wing was one of the first shows on, one of the earlier shows on Toonami, if I'm not mistaken. Because Toonami was like 2000 or 1996 ish, 1995, 96. That was the same time we had like Sailor Moon on, uh, Outlaw Star. Oh my, or no, that was Outlaw Star was afterwards, quite a bit. Uh, but yeah, no. So Toonami was essentially bringing over like the anime that they could over to uh for the audience. There were some other shows that were on there, which I'm really blanking on, but I mean you can take a look at the time frame because I have it pulled up. But yeah, it's like I think Yu Yu Hakusho was no, that was way later too. Wow, but there was like that 2 hour uh animated block that was really cool. I think they even had Dragon Ball Z during that time frame, which is definitely possible because Dragon Ball Z was early 90s that they actually were bringing it over. So, yeah, I know there was just a lot of good shows. Uh, so I started off watching Gundam uh, Wing, and Gundam Wing, oh my god, did I love. I don't believe that I'm actually looking at the wiki. First, they did rare. It was all edited back when they first did it, just to censor out some stuff. You know what? The show was fucking amazing. Honestly, as a kid, that's probably one of the shows that I still have most fond memory. Unfortunately, I did have it, but I ended up selling it because I was stupid. I wanted something else, and I am gonna have to pick it up again. But they are re-releasing the series, quite a few of the Gundam series over here in America in on Blu-ray and whatnot, which is something I would prefer anyways. Even if I had the Gundam series now, I think I would go through and pick it up again. So Gundam Wing was where I first really got introduced into the Gundam franchise. So basically all the Gundam shows beforehand, I unfortunately really don't have too much of a I don't have really any memory of it because it wasn't until like 95, 96 ish that they actually brought over any of the Gundam series that I'm aware of. And besides, I was like 4 to 5, so big robots destroying shit. That sounds freaking cool as hell to me. I probably sat down and watched that series at least a dozen times completely through. So Gundam Wing, I loved it. Then I don't know. I mean, the animation was amazing for the time. They had the Gundam Wing Endless Waltz movie, which came out like 2 years later after the show aired. That was amazing too. I mean, if you want a good review of Gundam Wing, just search for it. I just can't say enough. I just really can't do like a full review because I don't have any way to I don't legitimately don't have any way to really do a review of it, or I don't want to even try because I'm gonna screw something up I'm gonna forget something I'm not gonna like. But yeah, no. So Gundam Wing was where I started off with the Gundam series. Let's go ahead and go to the next one, which was Gundam Mobile Suit Gundam. What was it? Oh, it was Mobile Fighter G Gundam, which I believe was Just did they actually rename it over here? It was just G Gundam over here for the most part, which was actually quite of an interesting take on any of the Gundam series, and I think this is the only one that's ever really done it. They went through and the pilots actually could feel the pain and whatnot. They were linked together in a bodysuit. Because normal Gundams, if you've ever seen that, you know how they're usually just piloting a giant mech. Okay, so the only difference between that and what they're doing is they've got full control of the mech without needing to use any complicated system. Well, it is kind of complicated, but the systems are set up where they basically get a full suit on their body to control everything, like every move that they make, the Gundam makes. That was a really cool concept. I enjoyed that quite a bit. Then I believe it was right after G Gundam. There was one that was really like, what the fuck? It was called SD Gundam Force. I remember it. I've actually been wondering. Oh wow, that's crazy. So this is actually one of those rare occurrences that it was made outside of Japan, and I think it was made in Canada, to tell you the truth. But it was made for an American audience with 3D computer graphics. I kind of remember it. I think I liked it, but to tell you the truth, I haven't been able to find. I just really found. I was looking to find out what the heck the name was before I started doing this vlog because I really thought it's like, God, there's one that I'm missing, but I don't remember what it was. It was SD Gundam Force. I remember it was okay, but yeah, I guess it was just supposed to be commemorate the 25th anniversary, which is crazy. So Gundams actually started back at 79. I wasn't able to get into about 95, 96-ish, give or take, because of when it actually aired. Then from there, from that SD Gundam and G Gundam, the next one I really remember and I really fell in love with was Mobile Suit Gundam. What the fuck? Why am I forgetting you now? Mobile Suit Gundam Seed. Oh my god, Seed was amazing. Seed actually came out before the SD Gundam, surprisingly. Oh my god. Seed was just so freaking good. It was so deep. And there were, surprisingly, you don't find out that Kara has a sister named Kagali. You find they meet in the first episode. Then you don't see Kagali for like another 10, 15 episodes, I want to say. Actually, no, it wasn't that long. It might have been a couple episodes. I haven't actually watched Gundam Wing, Gundam Seed, G Gundam. Definitely haven't watched SD Gundam since it was aired on TV. So I mean that probably the last one I watched was actually one I'm going to talk about in a little bit. So Gundam Seed, I fell in love with. I at one point had the complete series on DVD. Then I just ended up losing them, unfortunately. I still have like one of the discs randomly. But yeah, no, so there's all that. I love Gundam Seed. Then I ended up seeing Gundam Seed Destiny bits and parts. It took me like 5 years to actually go back and really watch it because every time I kept watching it, if you guys remember back in like the mid 2000s, those of you that are old enough to remember stuff like this, because I know some of you guys that might be watching are quite a bit younger than I am, but then there's guys that are older than me. You might remember how Toonami used to have a block that would run from like 5, 6 p.m. in the afternoon to like, I don't know if it was that early, but it'd run to like 11 midnight at night. Then you start getting into the more, they're considered more the adult anime, like Inuyasha ended up being on there, Full Metal Alchemist, great shows again. But yeah, so there's all that. So Gundam Seed Destiny, I never actually had the chance to watch it really all the way through because it's either I was just gone or like I couldn't get the TV. I just couldn't watch it. There were different reasons. It wasn't on. So, not till about 2009, 10ish, I want to say. And that's when I wanted to go through and rewatch both Gundam Seed and Gundam Seed Destiny. Then I really go through and watch it. Destiny, I did like. Um, it was kind of a nice take to see the aftermath of Gundam Seed, which really Endless Waltz did that for Gundam Wing, which honestly I don't want them to do a reboot of Gundam Wing. I love the anime. I just don't want them to do a reboot of the show because it doesn't need one. And plus, there's so many other Gundam shows. And I'm gonna tell you guys, I did skip a lot. Um, so yeah, Gundam Seed Destiny, I did thoroughly enjoy. I like the fact that at least with Gundam Seed, Kira and Atherin, uh, some damn it, I'm blanking on his name. It's been a while since I've watched them. I'm pulling that up real quick. Uh, you got Kira and what the hell was the other guy? Arthur. They were both berserkers in one sense, which I thought that was a really cool concept. It's like, yeah, I'm a berserker too. You know, I freaking. If you guys haven't been able, if you guys can't tell, at least by what I've talked about in my Let's Plays and whatnot, I love anime. Okay, so let's go on to probably the last Gundam series I've actually sat down and watched all the way through. Besides the movie, which I didn't, I completely didn't. I forgot that they even had a movie for it. Actually, I didn't know that they had a movie for it till recently, and I've yet to go back to watch it because I kind of want to go through and watch the whole series again, just because it's been a while. But the last real Gundam series I've actually sat down and watched all the way through was Gundam 00 and Gundam Zero. It was double Gundam Zero. I don't remember how that worked. Was it just okay? So it was just Gundam Zero, and then I don't remember how it worked because there was 2 seasons of Gundam Zero. It was like 100 episodes, I want to say. But yeah, no. So I ended up getting it. I ended up watching all the way through. I freaking fell in love with it too. And there's a PS2 game which I'll have to import. But yeah, no. So with that show, I actually originally had found out about it through Sci-Fi because I'm like, because this is back when Sci-Fi was doing, Sci-Fi Channel was doing anime at like night randomly, which I still kind of check out for. But they ended up going through and releasing Gundam 00, so I caught a few episodes of that. It's like I was interested in it, but they were still airing it over here. It's like I said, it's like okay, I'm gonna wait. Then I ended up watching it all online because that's just kind of what I had to do because I wanted to watch it, but I didn't have I couldn't watch it when it was originally being aired because it wasn't like too late. It was like 1, 2 a.m. It was being aired, and I think I was actually in school at the time, so it's like I didn't want to just stay up that late to go watch an anime. I mean, if it was a Friday night, sure, like whatever, because I'm off Saturday. I mean, the only thing I would do is go to Showtimes, or maybe go to work. But yeah, that's all good. So yeah, really, Gundam 00 and 002, whatever it is, was the last Gundam I've actually sat down and watched, which aired almost. Well, it's been about 4 years. So yeah, that's freaking crazy. I'm actually on the wiki page. Basically, there's Mobile Suit Gundam through Mobile Suit Victory Gundam that I never saw. There's a few OVAs, and then there's just like really then there's just a lot of Gundam series I never actually saw. Quite a bit of it I know I could probably just sit down and just get through when I have the chance. And there's some I'm gonna have to look into some of these. A lot of these didn't probably get English dubs, so I'll be watching Japanese dub, which is good with me. But it happens. So there is. I did have a few of the toys when I grew up. The models, which those things are not cheap, and I ended up having. Uh, what was it? I have Mobile Suit Gundam. Actually, I got two Mobile Suit Gundam games that I know of. I have Mobile Suit Gundam Seed, Never Ending Tomorrow. I have yet to I think I played it just a little bit to make sure it worked, but I've yet to actually play the game. Um, I ended up going through and picking up, finding, was it Destiny? I am gonna have to. I know what it was the Dynasty Warrior games, but I don't remember the full name, so I'm just gonna search it. I do remember. Okay, so it was Dynasty Warrior Gundam. I found that on the original Xbox or 360 for a couple bucks. Oh, at a pawn shop, and there's one more I own, which is kind of annoying to find now. Mobile Suit Gundam Crossfire. I did play a bit of that. I never actually beat the game, but yeah. Uh, but yeah, from there, there's kind of that. There's a handful of uh, Gundam games I still want to pick up. Actually, I wouldn't mind owning the whole series, but fortunately, they're not exactly easy to find. A few of these games. But yeah, it happens. So let's see. I think that's all I really had experience. I fell in love with the series, pretty much every Gundam show, except for SD Gundam. I've got really good memories of. Wing Gundam Wing, first one I ever saw. It was just badass. The story was freaking deep as hell. And wow, G Gundam. It was just really innovative how they changed things up, and you know what? I'm happy about that. SD Gundam, I kind of remember. I kind of I'd be willing to watch it again, but I don't know. I mean, it's just kind of like whatever. Um, like I said, I would watch it again, but I just don't know when I would. Just to kind of see, like, would I like it now, or was it just something that was like they just kind of try to force something that they weren't supposed to force? Uh, G Gundam, oh, I already talked about Gundam Seed. I definitely would watch again. Honestly, I don't think I'm gonna do that anytime soon because simple fact that um, you know it's a great show. Gundam Seed Destiny also was amazing. I really did enjoy them. I'm just not gonna watch them again for a while because I've seen them. Oh wow, so okay, wow, so it was the Tom block and then 19 wow, it wasn't till 1999 that they actually aired Gundam Wing. So yeah, no. Uh, all the shows that were aired on Toonami at that time, if anybody's wondering, was Batman the Animated Series, freaking amazing. Dragon Ball Z, Gundam Wing, The Real Adventures of Johnny Quest, Reboot, amazing show. Ronin Warriors, which is, I want to say, okay, that's not what I thought it was. Sailor Moon, I remember that pretty good. Tenchi Muchu, Tenchi Universe, Tension in Tokyo, and Thundercats. Um, but yeah, then I guess it was going originally. It was 4 to 6 p.m. Then they changed it. Like when it first aired, then it was 4 to 7. So you had like 3 hours of anime and classic cartoons. Wow. So it was crazy. But yeah, no. So the Gundam wise, that's kind of where it started. Was back in 2000. So I would have been 99. I would have been 8 to 9 years old. Actually, what month? I would have been 8 years old actually during that time, which is really crazy. So I mean, 8 year you gotta remember, you gotta imagine 8 year old me watching that stuff. It's like it was amazing. A few of these shows, I mean, I've actually considered really trying to get back into, but I don't know. I'm gonna have to do some. There's other animes that I'm just gonna have to talk about. Uh, I kind of just wanted to go. I didn't really go into depth to go over the storylines of each one because you know it's just if you guys have seen them, you know the storyline. If you have not, check all of them out except for SD, which is the only one I cannot recommend because I remember I kind of liked it, but I don't remember I loved it. It's like I remember what it was, but that's kind of that. I don't know. I mean, if you want good reviews, if you want to actually see more of like an actual review on these and not just like this is kind of my history of what the Gundam had or Gundam series, like what I ended up watching, like what I remember. It's like did I love it? Did I hate it? That's kind of more what this has been. So yeah. Until next time, guys. I'm gonna have to say peace